My next question is, how do you build companies that people really enjoy working in?
Talking about the culture, right?
Yeah.
Like having very, very clearly defined it. But at the beginning, if we were to step back, I think like really defining your mission as a company, and it can be like, missions can be so different, but if a founding team or CEO is very clear about it and like raves about the mission, it's very easy to attract then people, because now I believe that everyone wants not just regular work. Even if we say like baby boomers, right? We keep saying, oh, all they want is stability. I don't believe in that. I think they want, like something to care for. Right. And work should be able to give this to them. So the very first step is to really understand, why does your company exist? What's the problem it's solving? And being able to communicate it when hiring or working with the team, building the culture. Right. And then making a culture is a really important part of your business, and giving this promise that I will take care of it. It's not only on my future HR team, but on me as a founder.
Richard Branson once said, happy employees create happy customers. If you take good care of your employees will take good care of your customers. And one of the companies who has done this perfectly was Mindvalley. Mindvalley has this vision to create transformation through education. They focus a lot about well-being, relationship, health, and many more. And Mindvalley has this amazing culture where they have a global team that consists of 250 people with over 54 nationalities. Welcome to the Achiever Show, where our goal at the show is to bring to you some of the top achievers so that they will be able to share with you their mindset and strategies for you to achieve success in your life as well. Now, in today's episode, we have a guest from Mindvalley, and her name is Marta Kondryn, the head of people and culture at Mindvalley. As a people and culture enthusiast, Marta is one of the key people to create a beautiful culture at Mindvalley. Throughout her career, Marta brought global movement of Disrupt HR to Kuala Lumpur, which is now functioning as a solid initiative to inspire and learn from HR leaders. She sincerely loves finding the best people, keeping them growing and fulfilled in their roles. Marta has a really amazing vision, which is to make the world a happier place to work by building authentic and heart-centered organization with strong culture. Today, she is here to talk about how to build a company people enjoy working for. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Marta Kondryn. Hello Marta, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hi Ong, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's just start off by getting the audience to know you and tell us a little bit, how did you end up in the HR industry?
So I am originally from Ukraine.
Yep.
And moved to Malaysia more than 6 years ago. And I'm working right now as head of people and culture in the company. It's called Mindvalley, and we do everything related to personal growth, personal transformation. We call ourselves the School for Humanity, something that school forgot to teach us about. How to take care about ourselves, relationships, business, personal development. So we are in that area. In particular, I'm responsible for people strategy and overall the culture of Mindvalley.
Right.
How did I end up in HR? Prior, in my university years, I was part of ISEC, and I was a volunteer there. And when it came to like, what would you like to do in ISEC, I was really, I hope good, and I liked to work with people. I actually, my first like so-called HR work was in ISEC.
Right.
And after that, after ISEC and after my university, I was mostly working for myself. I was doing recruitments particular, and they really liked it. And now I ended up as well in Mindvalley doing that as well. Even though when I was applying for Mindvalley, I didn't apply particularly for HR. It just led me there.
What was the thing that attracts you to Mindvalley? Because Mindvalley, I know, is a really attractive company. So what was the thing that attracts you to Mindvalley?
It was a network of my friends whom I knew who were working, and they raved about working there. So I really was looking for people who were like-minded and to work with them as a team, because at some point I'd really felt lonely of doing things by myself, and I was looking for my tribe. And that's how Mindvalley was at first place. Then later, after that, came self-realization and freedom that we give to our team to do whatever they want in terms of like their dreams and achievements, and our mission, of course, as well.
Right. So just now you mentioned a little bit about Mindvalley is about focusing on human transformation, and something that the school education lacks, right? So can you elaborate more about that?
Yeah, and I think like it's very important. The current education model, we know that it's outdated. It teaches us the skills, the knowledge that you can't apply in real life. My 4 years, my 5 years, sorry, in the university, like I cannot use it anymore, like in the real world, unfortunately, right? Thanks to Isaac, I was able to develop the soft skills, to learn how to lead and work with people. So Mindvalley understands that formal education sort of failed us there, and we trying to bridge that gap, and educating different age groups. It doesn't matter. Our programs are for youth, for like senior people. Like my mom is learning, you know. So I think this is very important, and it's not only Mindvalley who is doing that. Many organizations, it's a very important role to play in general.
Okay. Okay, so coming back to our topic for today is about how to build a company that attracts top talent into it. So I think one of the most important things is really about the culture of the company. And I think Mindvalley has one of the best culture among a lot of companies out there. So can you share a little bit about what is culture really means, and why is it important for companies to have culture? Yeah, culture is one of the most important areas in Mindvalley, and it's on the same level as the business strategy for us. You know, we really take care of it, we protect it, we develop it all the time. And we are lucky in that sense because our CEO and founder, he himself gave a promise that he will build a company with the greatest culture. And I think it's so important when CEO understands it and drives it. And then it's very easy for HR teams or like other teams that are working and managers. And so for us, it's culture is about what we stand for, our values, how we work as a team, what kind of people we bring into the team, and what kind of impact we have towards our employees and their well-being, and really putting them in the center of everything as we do as a business and as a team. And like being a very people-driven organization, it means culture for us. What do you think? What are the culture in Mindvalley that separates Mindvalley from the rest of the companies out there? What is so different about the culture in Mindvalley?
Well, first thing is the amount of nationalities that we have. It's right now it's 59 different nationalities working. 59.
Just I introduced 54.
59.
Okay, 59.
Correct number. Exactly. Like up to date. So of course it's a big responsibility because you have so many cultures. How to make sure they interact and work well together. The second biggest characteristic of our culture is focus on the personal transformation and well-being of our team members. And we give even this promise that if you join Mindvalley, we guarantee that you will transform something about you, what is most needed. Maybe it's your physical health, maybe you will lose weight, maybe your relationship or finances or emotional well-being. It's like our employee value proposition, if you were to say like this. So this is the second area. The third one is the amount of freedom we give to our team. We trust that we hire really smart people, and we don't need to control them, to micromanage them, to create like strict rules. We trust them that they will do a great job. And this is something that allows team members to really excel in Mindvalley and outside. And some of our team members, they are doing so amazing in their area. They're speaking on stage, you know, they're invited. And we think that this is because we have so much trust and respect, and the way we organize the company that puts it in the center. Yeah, so I would say these three main characteristics.
Yeah, so I think that one of the things that make a company great is also not only about the company's vision, it's also about the employees' vision themselves, right?
Exactly, yeah. Like investment into employees' vision is all about the growth element, yeah.
Okay. So my next question is, how do you build companies that people really enjoy working in?
Talking about the culture, right? Like having very, very clearly defined it. But at the beginning, if we were to step back, I think like really defining your mission as a company, and it can be like, missions can be so different, but if a founding team or CEO is very clear about it and, you know, like raves about the mission, it's very easy to attract then people, because now I believe that everyone wants not just regular work. Even if we say like baby boomers, right? We keep saying, oh, all they want is stability. I don't believe in that. I think they want, you know, like something to care for. And work should be able to give this to them. So the very first step is to really understand, why does your company exist? What's the problem it's solving? And being able to communicate it when hiring or working with the team, building the culture. And then making a culture is a really important part of your business, you know, and giving this promise that I will take care of it. It's not only on my future HR team, but on me as a founder.
Okay. Also, in one of your articles that I read about, you talk about knowing employees' values so that they are actually fulfilled at their workplace. So can you share a little bit about that?
We do this in Mindvalley. If I do it by example, maybe it will help to answer. We do it in a way where we do something called Lifebook planning and Lifebook creation. So, for example, for 4 days, we bring our team members into retreat, and they plan their life around 12 categories, starting from their well-being, career, emotional, relationship, ending with their finances. So in this way, we help them to really think and plan what they want, how they want their life to be. And one of the important premise in that process is you can have it all. You don't have to sacrifice your career versus your relationship, you know, or your health versus your I don't know, your emotional well-being. You know, like we set this like a premise that you can plan your life whatever you want, and you are able to achieve it. No limiting beliefs that we sometimes have in our families. Oh, in order to earn more money, you need to work hard all the time, right? So we do that. We also help team members to identify their own values in that process. What are the core values? What were the most highlighting events that you had in life that defined your values, and why you do that? You know, so we also teach them to see that values is not something that's static. It can change based on your life situation or where you are in your age and so on. So we have these conversations too. And same for Mindvalley. We review our values. For example, last year, end of the year, we completely rewrote our code of awesomeness. So what you saw in the article.
What is the code of awesomeness?
So what you saw in the article was an old version. Code of awesomeness is like in a traditional company is a code of conduct. How we work as a team. Like what are the rules that we identify for ourselves that will make us stick, and it would be different from company to company. So for us, last year we completely rewrote it. So the team of 60, the most performing team members, came together and identified the values, how they want to work, what does it mean to be a high achiever in the company, and based on that we wrote like an inspirational quotes we call it, the code of awesomeness.
Okay. So I really like what Mindvalley is doing, whereby it understands the values of the employees, because I always believe that you need to do well in not only career and also in any aspect of your life.
Yeah, and you don't have to compromise anything, and the companies should invest in that, and they cannot only talk about professional development, you know, and giving like companies create these learning plans, like they do reviews every year, they spend so much money, but they forget about other parts that employees should look into, and companies should create the space, you know.
Yeah, because like if other parts fall, then their career will also falls, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about values, helping your employees to identify their own values, how do you align that value to the company's ultimate values?
Yeah, it's very, very important, and it's very important to do it at the hiring stage.
Yeah.
So you bring the people who are aligned to the mission and your values. Okay. So hiring is, that's why we are very, like our process is long, and you need to create a video cover letter, you know, one of the requirements. And this is the very first stage to align, to make sure that the team is aligned, but also I wanna, like, you know, like I was even writing it recently in my LinkedIn, like I want to challenge the idea of culture fit, which we were all like talking about, including in Mindvalley.
What is culture fit?
Culture fit means bringing people that are aligned to your culture.
Okay.
Right? But at the same time, it creates this side effect where you have people who are very similar to you, like they think alike, they are on the same page, but innovation stops. They start saying that innovation stops when you bring people who are the same like you. Right? So instead of culture fit, we need to see like culture contribution, meaning people who are a bit unreasonable, who are different, who look even differently, who will challenge you. It doesn't mean that they will ruin your culture, they will enhance it.
Bring new ideas into the companies. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why even with values, I believe they should be reviewed like as much as possible, because the bigger your team is, the more different people you have, and you need to have a process where you're constantly reviewing, hey, does this even work, right? So so you asked me like how do we align at hiring, but also like having this conversation about the values at regular time and reviewing them.
Right. So yeah, that brings me to my next question, is like different people, they have different values, right? So how do you strike a balance between you want to align certain values, at the same time you want to bring in different values so that it creates innovation? So how do you create that balance between both of these two things?
Of course, like as a founder, you need to have a big say, right? And you need to be able to translate what's in your head into kind of like company and paper, right? So there should be a balance what you need. You can't just let the team change your company, right? Like on a big scale. But I agree with you, it needs to be balanced, and it can be achieved through listening to your team, through you know, like understanding what's your benchmark of tolerance. We call it the bar of awesomeness in Mindvalley. And what is this bar all about? We clearly define, and when we bring someone, or when we have someone in the team, we would ask ourselves, will this person raise the bar of awesomeness, or it will lower it down? If it's lowering down, we would part ways with the team member, you know? So very hard to give like, you know, like black and white answer, but I would say you as a founder need to have like your minimums about the values and the culture, and have certain percentage, and the rest your team should come from, you know, from the bottom.
Right. Okay. So like you just now mentioned that that's a very long interview process to really find the right fit for your company. How do you actually find the right talent? What are some of the processes that you have gone through, or what are some of the people that you are looking at, or how do you attract even the right people into the company?
Very important, we really spell out what is Mindvalley all about, what's our mission, what kind of people we're looking for. And if you go on our careers page, you will see there is like big manifesto, like we describe culture, what is it about. So we try to be very, you know, like descriptive, so when the people like come to our website, they can understand what kind of company it is. surprisingly, a lot of customers apply for Mindvalley. Those who know us through our content, through our product, through our events, and this usually are good talent fits in most cases. We are putting a lot of effort to build employer brand, even with, you know, like we can be lazy and then say like, oh, Mindvalley is great, let's just wait for people to apply. It doesn't work anymore. Out in the world there are more jobs than talent, so we know that. We do, of course, active reach, you know, it's LinkedIn brand, it's our social media, it's job portals, it's also through ISEC. We are sponsored their global partner for ISEC. Through all our speaking events everywhere, we are always on lookout, you know. We don't take any talent for granted, you know.
Okay, so I think it's also about like the message that you want to bring out to your target audience so that you attract the right people to come into the company, right?
Exactly, that's very important.
Okay, so talking about, just now you mentioned that 59 nationalities in one company. What was the biggest challenge to fit everyone into that culture?
The biggest challenge, I don't think we had a challenge because of the culture.
So how did you like manage to get 59 nationalities together as one? How did you manage to do that? That's amazing. That's amazing thing for companies to do. So how did you actually do that?
One of our core value as a company is unity. So this already, I think, sends the message to the external world that we are all about having like, you know, like being united. Doesn't matter what nationality you are in or what race, what gender, you are welcomed. It's the same for all customers, it's the same for our team. So I think this already is like one of very, very core principle that, you know, eliminates anyone who wouldn't be tolerating some nationalities, you know, or who wouldn't be tolerating some, I don't know, countries. So they wouldn't be inside of the company, they would be immediately fired, you know, like, or any homogeneous group, if you say like that. So I think this is like the key point. And of course, probably the type of people that we hire, and the type of work that we do. Our content is at some point contradictory, you know, and it's you need to be very open-minded, and you need to constantly grow yourself as a person in order to understand what we do. So the people that we bring to the team are, you know, like are always developing themselves, and they are very, like, at least I hope they're very aware and self-aware, and they're able to, you know, like, to step away from conflict, for example, right? To not to have, we never have this, you know, type of conversations about different nationalities. It's just like so natural already. So that's why it's hard for me even, like, you know, to put like what actually did we do. It came naturally, but of course also, if technically speaking, it's very easy to do it in Malaysia, honestly. If we were to build such company in Ukraine, it would be probably impossible to bring that amount of talent, because country is not open to that. It's very hard to get visa. Like, let's go to this, you know, to this level. And we are very lucky and blessed and grateful that we have support of MDEC, you know, in this. So that's for sure, we are very appreciative of that.
So I think that the reason why you said that your different nationalities, they actually blend in together very naturally. One thing is also because the root is there, right? Like the culture, the base is actually set very strongly. That's why as the talent comes in, it naturally fits into that culture.
And culture and the mission as well. People, 90% of the team are here because they believe they can change education with the help of Mindvalley. So I think like when you trying to build the team and giving them this big why, all the small nitty-gritty details just become irrelevant if you have a big mission, you know? Like you start bothering about something that is less important than your mission, and it can be about your personal mission as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about mission, because a lot of entrepreneurs, I know that the reason why their businesses fail is because entrepreneurs themselves, they know their vision or their mission very clearly, but then they just fail to communicate it to their team members. But I know Mindvalley do this really well, that everyone knows their vision and mission very clearly.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that that communication of the vision or mission actually reach to the employees and it goes into everyone's hearts?
Well, we do something in Mindvalley that we call mission reminders.
Right.
So, for example, every week we would send an email with all the customers, those customers who wrote to us how Mindvalley changed their lives. Maybe they took a course, a quest, or they just found a video on YouTube. You know, they watched it and they were like, oh my God, this made an impact. So we would try to collect those stories and share with the team on a regular basis. We also have our CEO himself, Vision, training new people every month, training everyone in the company on a regular basis. And another way how we communicate the mission is, for example, our weekly meeting, the town halls.
Right.
We do it every week, and we call it Awesomeness Report. And it's, you know, like on the outside it looks like a TV show in a very interactive format. We give update what's happening in every team, and it's not only from CEO. It's like everyone is sharing achievements, what they have done, maybe failures, and it's every week. And this meeting actually is one of the most important. It sets the tone for entire week and inspires the team, you know, like think about bigger things. So these are some of the mechanisms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So something out of topic that just came into my mind. So because I know a lot of fresh grads are asking me this, so I'd just like to throw this question to you. How important is a degree certificate in applying for jobs, let's say for Mindvalley?
For us, degree is needed only if you're a foreigner and you need to get visa in Malaysia. You need it, but we don't look at it when we start the process. It doesn't matter, and more companies are, you know, looking at it, and just it doesn't matter.
Right. So what are some of the things that you look at while you find the right fit for your organization?
Of course, we look at skill set, at past achievements, at what person actually did in so far, and as well how fast they can learn. The speed of growth, you know, the speed of learning is very important. And like we assess based on the culture values for Mindvalley, right? But I could say, like, you know, like this, and even like recently I read in one of the books, they say like that Google is more and more removing all the degrees from the resume, and they also found out that their biggest, the most performing employees were those who had some kind of challenge in their life, mostly personal loss, or like, you know, they overcame some challenge and they grew more resilient. And these employees were more performing better and brought more results than those with MBAs or Ivy League school students. So they actually assessed their employees and they found out it. So I think more companies will realize.
Why do you think, what's the reason for that? Like, people who have no college education, somehow they perform better than people who have, like you said, MBA. What's the main reason for that?
I think because they push themselves to learn in a very not traditional way, you know, and they are self-driven in that sense. They are able to learn without anyone telling them, oh, you need to get a degree, you know, or you need to do this class. You know, they're so self-driven and they can achieve anything. And to be honest with you, I believe that like every person would change minimum 3 or 4 careers in their lives.
Right.
I will not be HR for a long time. I feel, you know, I have this sensation. So I should be ready for that. Am I learning something else? Am I ready for that? And this kind of mindset pushes me to rely on myself, to learn, to ask for help. And I think these people, like, because they are like this, they are able to replicate it in the company.
Okay. So where do you see yourself, let's say 10 years from now? Because you said that you won't be in HR for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Who is Marta at that time?
10 years from now, I see myself helping people in some sort of way. I don't know where it is gonna be, but supporting people and leading people towards something good and better. And yeah, that's probably like very broad. Yeah, but obviously in the business of people.
Yeah.
But we will see in what form and shape.
Right. But the ultimate goal is to impact people.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just got one last question for you. For all the entrepreneurs out there who's just starting out to build a culture, let's say even for a one-man company, two-man company, while they are starting to form a good base for their culture, what is your advice for them?
My advice is really to, to make a promise to yourself or to your team that this is going to be same level as importance as building the cash flow, And at the beginning it's easy because a small team, you organize a dinner and everyone feels great, this type of the culture that you have. The bigger the team becomes, the more effort you should put. But really deciding for yourself that you want to have a great culture, I think as a CEO, founder, it's very important. It's very pivotal to build a culture. And if you don't do it at the beginning, then in the middle it will be a bit, it will be harder, and it will be harder to build trust from the team, to attract the team. So once you do that, it's great. And then being the main protector about it, and not outsourcing or delegating it to someone else. And yes, you can have a great HR person that will support you in the along the way, but the moment you stop caring about it as a CEO, that's when all the problems become. Even how great HR you might have will not help. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Marta, I really learned a lot from you personally. Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway from me is really as a company, you need to take good care of your people, align together, then everyone will be on the same page, moving through the exact same vision. To me, that is really powerful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ong.
Thank you so much. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this interview today. And with that, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching The Achiever Show. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can get first-hand update on our show, where we'll be releasing 2 episodes every month to help you to unleash your deepest potential. Once again, thank you so much for watching and stay extraordinary. I'll see you the next time.